in Surah Al-A'raf الآية 108 تقول الآية وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا أُولَئِكَ الْأَنْعَامُ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ أُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. So scholars in Muslim world, they translate ذَرَأْنَا by خَلَقْنَا. So they said that God had created some jinn and ins, and to be from people of Jahannam and to be of people of Jannah. And they also claim that this principle of Jabriya, that there is no choice for man. So how we can understand this verse?
Translation of the verse, then the translation of the whole question into Arabic, then I will speak.
So this verse is verse number 180 in Surah Al-Araf. The translation of this is given here as like this: Verily we have created many of the jinn and the men whose end shall be hell. They have hearts wherewith they understand not, and they have eyes wherewith they see not, and they have ears wherewith they hear not. They are like cattle, nay, they are even more astray. They are indeed altogether heedless.
Yes. It's not only this question, but there are other questions implied in the same, as to the nature of those jinn and what Sharia is revealed to them, and whether every prophet addresses them as well as common people. So all these questions are in fact answered in this verse. The first of all, the concept of Jabriya cannot be derived from this verse, because it's not permissible to separate one verse from the similar verses in other places which speak on the same subject. So they should be read together before you reach a final conclusion. Here it is argued that the purpose of creation seems to be the creation of the jinn and ins, and the purpose seems to be to put them in hell. So that purpose will be served, whether the mankind and the jinn like it or not, because they are created to be put to hell. On the other hand, we read, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So does this mean that the purpose of that verse, when fulfilled, they will all go to Jahannam? So when you read other verses of similar nature elsewhere and bring them together, then we immediately begin to understand the meaning of the Quranic style. If you add as if they were, then you understand the meaning better. So many have gone to Jahannam as if they were created for it, not that they were created for Jahannam. And the other verses, which again clearly inform mankind that it is for the purpose of rahm from God that they are created. So either they have to be taken as inconsistent, contradictory, and so on and so forth, which will destroy our faith in the Quran and in God altogether, or they should be understood sensibly, logically, in a manner that there is no contradiction left to appear between them. And the meaning is exactly the same as I am presenting to you, that God has created mankind with good purposes. But when He does not follow that design, He creates the impression as if He was created for a completely different purpose. And that is why the Jahannam is filled by these people. But also Jannah will be filled. So if that was a Jabri purpose, why should there be anybody in Jannah? You can't escape Jabr. So it rejects the concept of Jabr altogether instead of promoting it. The second thing is about Jinn, the nature of Jinn. Now I clearly understand from this verse that the Jinn mentioned here are of the people, are human jinns. Like in many other verses, God addresses mankind and then addresses them in turn in different categories. An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, read it. The name is An-Nas, but then the jinns are mentioned. Minal Jinnat and Nas are mentioned having been divided into two categories. An-Nas, Minal Jinnat wa An-Nas. The verse I have in mind, and let me read the full surah, which more short surah it is, then you will understand my meaning fully. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس. No jinn is mentioned at all. من شر الوسواس الخناس. Nas are seeking refuge. من الجنة والناس. See, so where does the jinn come from? It refers to either those who try to separate, breathe disorder into them. They belong to Jinn and Nas. Or those both who are referred to as A'udhu billahi minash shaitan, aqul a'udhu birabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas. These Nas are from two categories, from the category of Jinn and from the category of Nas. This is a meaning which is further fully supported by other verses of the Quran. So, because al-Jinn in this respect has been applied by the Arabs to humans. Chieftains have been referred to as jinns. And consult Imam Raghib or Lane or any other reliable dictionary and you will read the same thing. The Arabs used to refer to big people as jinn, to the people of the jungle who are seldom seen as jinn, to the people of the mountains who are very tough and hardy and very rebellious in their nature. They are also referred to as jinn. So it is the two categories, the subcategories of humans. One is An-Nas and the other is Jinn. And in the capacity of An-Nas, man is proletariat, Awamun Nas, the common run of the people. And in the capacity of An-Nas as Jinn, they become the capitalist powers. So the Holy Quran addresses both these categories of mankind as Ya Mashar Qul Ya Mashar al-Jinn wal-Ins in istatatum an tanfuzu min aqtari samawati wal-ard fanfuzu la tanfuzuna illa bisultan fa bi ayyi ala'i rabbikum tukazziban. Here, that jinn is irrelevant to this verse. Those jinns are described as going up in heaven and ascending to heaven and descending and all that. But men could never do that. They were not created with the machinery required for ascent into the space and safe descent from the space. They are built differently. Yet this verse speaks of addressing both Ya Mashar al-Jinn wal Insi in istatatum an tanfuzu min aqtari samawati wal ard fanfuzu. And then it also leaves some room open for their ascent. La tanfuzuna illa bi sultan fa bi ayyi ala'i rabbikum tukazziban. Here, if I divulge further on the meaning of this verse, we'll spend much more time than on this than available to us here. But believe me that here it is a big part of the world which are addressed and challenged by the Quran. Oh, the capitalists, and oh, the bourgeois, and oh, the big company of them, the leaders of them. If you want to break away from the ties of this earth and travel into space, go ahead and do it. You will not be able to do it without sultan. Now, there is a long commentary required on the word as-sultan. As far as the corners of the universe are concerned, it is impossible for man to ever reach there, because they are 20 billion years away from us. If we travel on light and continuously travel for 20 billion years, still we cannot reach the boundaries of the universe, which is mentioned here, because the boundaries continues to expand and move away farther from us. So the sultan must mean something else. And as-sultan also means a powerful argument, powerful deductive logic. So the verse here, addressing both the bourgeois and the proletariats, tells them that physically it is impossible for you to reach the corners of the earth. But with deductive logic, you will be able to visualize what's happening on the corners of the universe. This is the age when this prophecy has got fulfilled. Never before this could man possess that as sultan which the man of today has possessed. And this exactly is the age when the world is divided into two large global classes of proletariats and the bourgeois. So this verse has proved itself to be, has proved its meaning itself in the light of what we have observed today in the world. So the word al-Jinn is the point. Al-Jinn can apply to anything else, but it does apply to great human beings, great powers, bourgeois, leaders, people of fiery nature, and so on. The verse which you have pointed out, it does not refer to any jinn other than humans. It's impossible. Because if they are, if this the verse refers to any other species of life other than human, then according to the Holy Quran, some of them are pious and some of them are wrongdoers. So if the wrongdoers, jinns, are sent to Jahannam, as this verse also dictates clearly, then why are they kept out of Jahannam, Jannat? This is the question. If they are different creatures, and some of them, according to the Quran, are goodly people, pious people, then if they are sent to Jahannam, they should also be sent to Jannat. But the Quran does not mention anywhere any jinn in the Jannah. Have you ever read any verse anywhere where a jinn is mentioned to go to Jannat? Any hadith? Any mention of people being inquired from by God, and among men he addresses some jinn? All right, you men, you have answered for yourself. Oh jinn, what are you doing there among men? Come out and give a full account of yourself. Have you read anywhere in the Quran where the skin of a jinn will also speak against him? So the jinn are in Jahannam are a type of humans who were rebellious while being human, and also were leaders among the rebellious people. It does not refer to a different type of creatures, right? Please.